So, a lot of comics to unbox and the results of an estate sale. Hi guys, this is Jim from Bronxville Comics. Welcome to my channel, and we have another video here where I'm going to be doing some unboxing and looking at some books that I just picked up and sometimes the significance. Some of the books I already unboxed because they arrived in the middle of a huge rainstorm and the boxes were soaked, so I wanted to make sure the books didn't get damaged at all. So one of the first ones, I kind of picked this up as an impulse buy. It's Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter #1 from DC Comics. First appearance of Richard Dragon, and the first appearance, it says, of Ben Stanley, who is the Bronze Tiger. So that's a character that was actually on Arrow, and he's been a part of the Suicide Squad in the past. We'll see if they bring him ever to the big screen Suicide Squad. So it's a good DC Bronze Age spec book. Couple of books I picked up, I got pre-ordered from Bry's Comics arrived. Some speculation. One is, let's see, Mighty Avengers #1, which is the first appearance of the Mighty Avengers. It's the first time that Monica Rambeau appears as Spectrum in Mighty Avengers #1, and there is some indication based on the logo they used in the preview of the Marvels movie, which is essentially Captain Marvel 2, that's the Spectrum identity is the one she's going to use. Another spec book is Champions #1, which is the first appearance of the Champions team, which is includes Ms. Marvel, the Kamala Khan version, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and it also includes the Alexander Nova, Amadeus Cho, Hulk, Vision, and they form the new Champions. So those are modern spec books. Both came as 9.8s. So he does a pretty good deal on spec books. So hopefully those will increase in value as these characters become part of the MCU. And then a few other books that I picked up that came that rainy day, and then we'll go into some of the newer stuff. I picked up a pair of a book, 2 copies of Doorway to Nightmare #1, which is the first appearance of Madame Xanadu. There's thoughts that she's going to be getting her own TV series. Whether that's going to be a series about her or an anthology is uncertain. Also, possibly she's going to be part of the Justice League Dark potential movie or HBO Max series. I really enjoyed the Madame Xanadu run of comics from Vertigo from like 2008 or 2009. And this is, I don't think no, we had already seen this Batman 149. 148 is next. So then some stuff to unbox here that has arrived in the last couple of days. I've been busier than I probably should be buying stuff on eBay. Oh, this one, a little bit of a spec book. What the Xmas special. This includes a first cameo appearance in comics of Bart Simpson. So that's a little bit of a spec book. Simpsons books have been increasing in value quite a bit lately. Simpsons #1, and then there's a Simpsons Comics and Stories that came out a little bit earlier than that, with Bart as Bartman on the cover. Those both command significant value for their era. Came out early 90s. I'm still probably at about 60-something% of the books from that DC printed with a 1972 cover date. And this one came issue 241, Our Army at War. That's starring Sergeant Rock. So there's that. So there's a brick of books in here. Okay, this is what I got. This is a lot of books, all Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. Some of these I already have, but I got this, I think nobody else had bid on it, so at the last minute I just jumped on and I got this entire lot, and these are all supposedly, and I'll take a quick look, and the first one looks to be, all pretty high grade. This is the era in the 1970s when Mike Grell was doing the art on Legion of Superheroes. There we go. So, late 40s, late 70s, early 80s. So just, this is from 1978. These are all pretty high grade. Shipping was, I don't know, like 10 bucks, 12 bucks or something, but this entire lot I won for $5. So all Superboy and Legion. Some of these I already have. I think a lot of these I already have, but they were high grade. Some repeats, but for $5, actually a number of repeats at $2.69. But just any one of these in high grade is probably worth $5. So that's one of the things where you see the price, you can't pass it up. $5 for the lot. That was pretty good. This was another kind of impulse buy. I must have gotten it for a really good price. Pretty high grade. Batman Family number 6. I've been looking to complete this run. I recently got most of them as part of a collection, and just a real quick, I think it's 15 issue run, so I figured it's easy enough to get the whole run. Oh, issues 1 through 3 of the Hulk series. First appearance of the Red Hulk. Still speculation that Thunderbolt Ross will become the Red Hulk in the MCU. So that was spec for this first issue. I don't have any of those actually in my PC. This, if I think, oh, it is.
It is expensive. So
It's a mid-grade copy of Amazing Spider-Man 37, the first appearance of Norman Osborn. As Norman Osborn, not as Green Goblin. Willem Dafoe played the Green Goblin in the initial Sam Raimi Spider-Man film with Tobey Maguire. And there's speculation that in the upcoming Spider-Man film, he's going to reprise his role in some form as the Green Goblin. And there's speculation that Norman Osborn will become a major player in the MCU before too long. So I've been hunting for this for a while, for the right condition and the right price, and came across this one. So that's a nice book to have in the collection. Oh, this is not what I thought. That looks nice. Air Ace Comics, Volume 3, Number 3 from May of 1946. If you've seen any of my other videos, I'm trying to collect every comic from May of 1946. So you get some of these odd titles. Air Ace is one of them. It's not, a DC or Timely or Fawcett superhero comic. But this is flying into the future, your job in the future. So this is in pretty nice shape. That's a little bit higher grade, especially for a 1946 book. So that's all the unboxing I have. But the other day, I ended up going to an estate sale. And the estate sale actually took place, it was being held in the town I grew up in, which is nearby. They had listed, it was originally supposed to start on a Friday, but Friday was really bad weather. So they pushed the start off until Saturday. They had the initial listing that they pulled included the address. The newer listing said the address would be released at 9 a.m. on Saturday. The estate sale began at 10 a.m. on Saturday. So I knew the address. I showed up at 10 to 9. I was the first person there. But they didn't let anybody until 10 o'clock. About 9:15, another guy pulls up who's also a comic book guy. So we were chatting. Obviously, we're looking for the same stuff. They let everybody in. I'm the first one in the house. I was the first one there. Go, where are the comics? Around the corner, dining room table. On the dining room table, there's just a huge piles of comic books. Not in any particular order. There was also a box of comics in the living room that were $10 each. They said anything on the table is $3 each, first go through. So you kind of had to pick and choose what you thought was worth it, spending, $3 each. You're not just picking up filler issues, $3 each, but you're looking for some higher price issues. They had posted some pictures on one website with some of the things, but this was kind of the perfect storm. It was a pretty good collection. All the books were from the 80s. They were in decent shape. I don't think the original owner was selling them. Might have been a relative. The person doing the sale didn't really know exactly what they had. They weren't comic book people. Okay. So the box in the living room was number ones, but most of the number ones were mini series. So it wasn't like, the Silver Age of comics where Fantastic Four number one, or some of the books, even Amazing Spider-Man number one, are huge. Miniseries, don't have first appearances, aren't really worth that much. So there was a specific title that the person had collected, and I was looking for that. I did take one, and that's the last one here from the $10 box. So just real quickly going through most of these. There were some early G.I. Joes that I picked up. These are not in the best of shape. I did kind of go through a second pass. This was 44 is the latest issue. Some early Spawns, which aren't really worth, more than what I paid. Then it got to the thing that I kind of knew what I was looking for. Now, most of the books were in bags, but it was 2, 3, 4 books to a bag. So you looked at the bag, you saw one book, maybe two, but sometimes it was the books in between that were really worth something. So he had a Batman run, first Tim Drake as Robin. There were a number of Marvel Age books. For those of you not familiar, Marvel Age was kind of a preview comic where Marvel would they would preview the books they had coming out in a couple of months. And they would have articles about them. So some of them are sought after. I didn't find, maybe the guy that was right behind me, I think he got some Amazing Spider-Man, potentially Amazing Spider-Man 300, that era. I didn't get any Spider-Man. But he had, the collector had a bunch of Marvel Age. The preview of Secret Wars is the one that's worth the most because that has the actual chronological first appearance of the black suit for Spider-Man. But there's some others that are worth something. This is valuable. This is the first Guardians of the Galaxy, the Todd McFarlane cover. This is the Toxic Avenger on the cover. That's a pricey comic. So all of those were kind of good pickups. And I knew they had Marvel Age, so I was kind of, from the pictures, I knew to chart out that the day before. This is the second Crossbones, some Captain Americas. So I think there's some first appearances and second appearances in these Cap books, right? So it was mostly Marvel except for the Batman, and there was one independent book that is what I'm talking about. So I didn't get 353, which is the first Mobius at 352, which has the TVA appearance. They did have a pretty significant run of West Coast Avengers. So I picked up the ones that do command a little bit of money. First Great Lakes Avengers. Okay. So these are all somewhat sought after books. Picked up a bunch of that. And a Mortis appearance. A few days, that might be worth a little bit more. So then the most valuable books that they had that I found these a little bit later on as I was kind of searching through. This, which kind of is, I think, the prelude to the Armor Wars story. Iron Man 225. I found 272, not 273. It's a little bit faded. This, in the last page, has the first appearance and cameo of Nathaniel Richards, Reed Richards' father. This book was much hotter a few months ago. First appearance of White Vision. I have to believe that White Vision's coming back to the MCU. This book has cooled off considerably, but it could become something again. This, we're going to see him again. The first appearance of U.S. Agent. Okay. I found this. This was one of those books that was in between other books. I think the pack had, Batman 422, 424, this Todd McFarlane cover. It's a third print. That's still a valuable book. That's in nice shape. And then the one that I was kind of looking for the whole time, it was in the $10 bin. The guy had a run of John Byrne's Next Men. I found issue 21, the first appearance in comics of Hellboy. This is in pretty nice shape. It's not a 9.8, a couple little spine ticks there, but that's in higher grade. This, maybe the McFarlane, I'll have to see what else based on the grade are worth sending out to CGC. But it was a lot of fun actually digging through and trying to find the best books at that estate sale. And the whole thing, this whole pile I paid just over $100 for, so I think that was a really good price. If you have any estate sale experiences, I've had some ones. This was kind of a fun one. It wasn't, I didn't find gold. I didn't, find an Amazing Spider-Man 15 or something, but I did find some good stuff. Let me know what you thought of what I got. If you have any experience at estate sales, what you thought of the books I got that I ordered. Give me a comment, a like, a subscribe, support the channel, and until next time, enjoy your comics.